Hi, everybody. Gene Ketcham, Martini Chat. Okay. I'm getting ready to interview Jodi Harrison-Bauer, and I'm very, very excited to talk to this young woman. I mean, she is known as the aging fearlessly expert. Now, is that not what we all talk about all the time? I mean, that's pretty exciting. She's the owner of Jodi Fit Boutique. She'll tell us about that. And listen to this one. She 2 times was a world bikini champion. I mean, now that's pretty amazing. She's also known for being the oldest competitor for Sports Illustrated swimwear. I mean, this woman has done it all. She's done it all. And at 61, she feels ageless and empowers other women to feel the same. I mean, this is so incredible. I cannot wait to talk to Jodi. So stay tuned.
How to do a bicep curl. So when I am 80 and I decide to go to the gym and do bicep curls, my muscle's going to go, oh yeah, I remember how to do that bicep curl. That's why it's so important, because the muscle you build right now when your hormones are hopefully balanced is muscle that nobody in the world will ever take away from you. Now, you can gain weight, you can gain 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds, but when you lose that weight, guess what, girlfriend? The muscle's still going to be there waiting for you. Yeah. It didn't go anywhere. So when women come to me and they're going through menopause or they're postmenopausal and they're like, how do I look like you? I'm very honest with them. And I say, you're not, because I've been doing this for 40 years and you haven't. But what we can do is help you feel stronger and help to slow down the aging process and osteoporosis, because we have nothing left in our hormones. That estrogen that we love so much, that progesterone, bye-bye. And that's what sucks about being over 55. And it's a real thing. Mm-hmm. Now, I started trying bioidentical hormones. I don't know if you have ever tried them.
No, but I've heard a lot about that.
I tried it about a year ago. I ended up gaining about 5-6 pounds. Now I'm only 5 feet tall. So there's not a lot of places for me to go. And being in the fitness industry, I didn't want to gain any weight because it's weighing 108 pounds at my size is where I need to be. So we tweaked a bunch of things. But my point is that, women need to look into every opportunity, whether it's using the right kind of makeup, the right hairstyle, the right clothing. There are ways to feel the way you feel inside to let the world know how you actually feel on the inside. And if you want to lose weight, if you want to get a facelift, if you want to wear hair extensions, if you want to get big boobs or little boobs, whatever you want to do, then go ahead and do it. But this is your life, and don't let anybody judge you for the stuff that you do. And I've gone through a lot of that because the friends that I used to have in my old life judged me for everything. And I still get judged for a lot of things. Your hair is too long, your dresses are too short, your heels are too high. And it used to hurt my feelings. And now I'm like, sorry, that's who I am. Too bad. I even say it to my daughters. They're like, Mom, this was years ago. I'm like, guys, you know what? You're grown up. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
It's funny because my good friend and I, the good friend of mine that helped me start Aging But Dangerous, and she and I always come up with a New Year's Eve, little slogan. So the one a few years ago was, so.
Love that. Love that.
Don't you love it? Somebody says something about you, go like, so? Right. I mean, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
And your attitude is so good and you're so beautiful. But, from what I've seen, at my many years of living, you could sit here and be the homeliest person in the world, but you would still be beautiful because of who you are and your thinking and everything. I just said this to somebody the other day. I said, when you really love somebody or you really like somebody, you can't judge how they look. They just look good. I mean, you're
Right.
beautiful, but even people that are not beautiful are,
Well, it's the
they look so
personality,
good.
my daughter actually got me started on watching The Bachelorette. And and it's the guys that do well on the show are the ones with the personality. They're
Mhm.
not necessarily, all the guys are good looking, all the guys are fit, but the ones that shine bright are the ones with the personality, not the duds, not the one who's sitting there checking out his six pack. It's the one with the smile on his face. It's the one who knows how to be a man and be chivalrous and be complimentary, but being authentic, and I talk a lot. The name of my podcast is Fearlessly Authentic, because I was always so afraid of what people were going to say based on the things that I did. The first step being getting divorced, and everybody going, "Whoa, why would you want to get divorced? You have a perfect life." Well, it's not your life; it's my life. It's,
Exactly.
and I got to show my daughters what it's like to be a strong woman from within. You know.
That is so true. And are you, I know this is a personal question, you don't have to answer it, but do you date? I mean, are you,
So I'm married. I got married
oh, you're
3 years
married
ago.
again. Oh, good.
Yes, I got married in 2019. And then a month later, I tried out for Sports Illustrated Swim. I don't know if you know anything about that story. So, yes, I met my husband when I was dancing with my then fiance.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
my husband isn't somebody who's the guy that I usually think that I'm attracted to. And I was dating for almost 20 years until I met my husband. So, but he was a gentleman, and he was kind, and he was mature, and he was what I needed. He came into my life at the right time. Sometimes he
That,
drives me crazy, but
yeah,
that's okay.
that's beautiful. Well, I've been married 60 years.
I love that I'll never be married 60 years.
Well, of course you won't,
Yeah, no,
but I
never.
think I always say the most wonderful thing about that is not that you've lasted 60 years. The wonderful thing is that you've been with somebody for 60 years and you're still so happy.
I
That's
know, and you
that's
still like each other.
yeah. I mean, we met in college and we're definitely soulmates. We were soulmates before we even knew what that meant.
Right.
And it's just a beautiful thing because I don't think I could be married to a lot of men. I mean, I just don't think I can. Could. He's just very, very congenial, very
Is he easygoing?
easy going. And our daughter's the same way. We had an only child and she's 54.
Wow.
And she's just like, yeah, easy going. She was so wonderful to raise. She was easy to
Oh,
raise, easy to raise.
oh, I love
But
that. I had one like that. The other one not. My oldest one was tough. Oh my God, so tough. Then I had two miscarriages, and my little one, who's 29, is she was so easy to raise, just a
yeah,
doll.
yeah. Well, my daughter has the two different ones too, but
Mhm.
anyway, but yeah, it's just oh, thank you for saying all these wonderful things that you've said, because I want people to look at you not just for your beauty,
Thank you.
but for you, what is inside of you and what you are doing with your life. And too many women just look at the outside. A lot of times I'll go on, I do little inspirational talks every Monday morning on aging but dangerous. And I love that moment. But a lot of times I go on and I give, like a real little inspirational talk,
Right.
of how I'm feeling. And then, they write back and they go, "Oh, you're so beautiful and you're this and that." And they're looking at the outside. And sometimes I think, are they even getting my message?
Right.
Are they getting an understanding what I am trying to say? Because this is like, it just doesn't matter. And I have seen some of the homeliest women that I'm telling you, Jodi, are the most beautiful. They are
I
so
agree.
beautiful.
I agree. I agree. It comes from within. It
Yeah.
sounds like a very, very trite and corny thing to say, but it does come from within. I had an interview earlier today, and one of the things that I said to him was that I always taught my daughters, look, you did win, and I'm not just saying this. They are very physically very pretty girls, and they're smart girls too.
Mhm.
But what I've taught them is, look, you've been genetically blessed, but if you have nothing smart to say, the doors will not continue to open for you. You must have something intelligent to say. You must have something, say something that means something, because you cannot get by with your looks alone. And part of me going to a women's college was, I didn't realize it at the time, was that I needed to work on myself, because I did get, my mom was always like, oh, you're so pretty, you're beautiful. My dad, you're so beautiful, you're so the oldest of three girls. And like, I did well in school, and I was pretty, and captain of the cheerleading, and blah, 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 blah. But that's when I realized it, when I went to college and I looked around and I thought, there are a lot prettier girls here. They're smarter, they're more athletic. I gotta amp up my game. And that's when I started really doing the work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. And, and also, as we age, and we sometimes, so many women give up because they feel that they're aging, and they're like, forget it. I lost my opportunity. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to live vicariously through my children. No, do it yourself. You can do it. You can absolutely do that. Don't give up on yourself. And hopefully they have somebody by their side who is telling them that they can do it too. Because that, you've been married for such a long time, that if your husband didn't say, yes, honey, go ahead, not giving you the okay, but being by your side and say, yep, go ahead, you got this.
Yeah.
It helps tremendously. There needs to be some teamwork in there. It's hard to do all these things alone.
There definitely has to be teamwork. And we could go on circuit talking about how, somebody asked me just the other day, what's one secret about being married? So I said, the number one secret is to let each other be their own person. Don't try to change them. Don't try to tell them what to do. I mean, they are who they are. They are who you married. So if you don't like the way they are now, you better get out, because
they're not going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't change people.
No.
But I do go by that, a lot of that whole, feeling thing. And I tell you, the wrinkles, is it going to upset you, Jodi, when you start getting wrinkles?
Yes.
Yeah.
It will, and I do have them. And it does bum me out, because my mom didn't have a lot of wrinkles. And she was in the sun all the time. So, but what am I going to do? Here's the deal. I'm not trying to look as young as my daughters. I am just trying to preserve who I am. And again, it comes back to my personality. Hopefully,
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't. Like, you just have to be who you are and accept it. Like, I'm not trying to look 29. Would I want to be 29 again? Actually, not. No, I don't. I'm really good being where I am right now. And if you can remember, 50s kind of sucked a little bit. Menopause kind of sucks, and going through that whole time. And then it's funny being 61. I'll be 62 in December. I kind of like being in my 60s. I was really afraid, like, oh no, the 60s, they're here already.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy I'm done with menopause, and I'm done with all that bullshit of being in my 40s and 50s. Like, go, somebody else could be that age. I don't want to be that age anymore. I like being where I am right now.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
December 27th. When's yours?
Are you a Capricorn?
I am.
I am too.
I love it. Yay! When's your birthday?
Mine's January 8th.
Oh my goodness. I love Capricorns, not because I am, but there's a vibe, right?
I know. I mean, Jodi, honestly, I don't like Capricorn men that well, because I don't.
Either.
Okay.
Either.
But Capricorn, I have never met a Capricorn woman that I did not just love. I mean, because we have so much energy, and we're so focused, and we never give up, and
we never give up. We keep climbing that damn mountain. We're that goat that keeps going up, up, up. We get there, we keep climbing. I agree. Yeah, Capricorn men aren't the same. I don't dig the Capricorn men. I'm married to a Taurus. What are you married to?
Libra.
A Libra. Oh, that's a nice sign.
Yeah, it's nice. But look at my book. It says, keep on going, never give up.
Love it.
And I
Love
just,
it.
that's always been the case. I've always had my own business and I just never give up. I just keep going and going and going. But yeah,
Sometimes, you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you ever get tired? Because sometimes I do admit that I get tired and I go, you know what? Why can't I just put my feet up and relax like the rest of the world? And I'm like, because I can't. Do you ever think about that?
well, yeah, I mean, I go really hard. I go really long and hard. Today's been really a hard day. But and the technology, of course, Jody, is so hard for me.
Yeah,
And
me too.
because it's just advanced so much. I found this young man that's really helping me though, and it's really good. But I'm like you. I just said that's your mission in life.
Yeah.
My mission in life, and I knew it before I even started Aging But Dangerous, is to help women in the aging process. And I don't know how that came across, but all my birthdays, well, I don't think it's how old you are on your birthday. I think it's where you are circumstantially on your birthday. I mean, I remember when I turned 30, I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh my gosh, now I know what they mean when they say I feel like I'm 100 years old, but I was losing a baby. I was losing a very bad, so I tell you, the hardest birthday for me was 70. 70 was hard.
Why was that?
I don't know. Turning 70 was just a big milestone.
Mm,
It was when I don't know, it was just a hard one. It was probably the only one that was really hard. 80 was fabulous. 80 was like, oh my gosh, I'm 80 years old. I love it. I mean, it's like, and I was skydiving and I was just doing all
that's
kinds of things. And
amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing.
and
I wish my mom could have met you and just heard you on an interview because I lost her the day after my birthday.
oh honey, I'm
And she was
sorry.
86 and she had a stroke at 80 and all she wanted to do was get to her 80th birthday. And she had so much energy, that woman. She was full of life and you remind me of energetically, and I feel that spirit in her. So I feel so grateful that we got to meet today.
Oh, I do
Um,
too. I
so
do too.
she
And
was an Aries. She drove me crazy. She was an Aries, so drove me absolutely crazy. But she
yeah,
had such a spirit in her. It was beautiful.
yeah. Well, and I keep saying to people, I have to live a long time because I still have it in my bucket list. I still got a lot of things I want to do. So I think of my dad at 105, and I thought, hey, I've got another, good 20 years. I want to be able to hang glide, and they have a place here in Minnesota that teaches you how to hang glide. And I don't know where you'd hang glide in Minnesota, but I
Yeah,
think
I don't
you
know
learn how to
either.
do it and then you go someplace and do it. I love heights, and so I really
Yeah, I don't. Everything you're talking about, I have no desire to do. Yeah,
I
none.
know, but you could probably get in a canoe and go in the water, right?
Yeah, I could probably do that. The water scares me. I'm a big scaredy cat. I'm telling
I'm
you.
scared of water. I'm scared to death
I'm
of water.
I'm afraid that a shark's gonna bite me. But I'm not afraid. I'm actually gonna get back on stage and start competing in fitness shows again.
Are you? Oh my gosh, Jody, I just got chills.
Yes, yes.
Are you really?
My last show, I did it for almost 10 years. My last show was 56 after my mom had her stroke, and I came in second, 45 and over. And I lost to a tall blonde. So whenever I lose to a tall blonde, I always feel like I won because I'm the short brunette. But yeah, I really feel that, when I was competing, we didn't have social media. Nobody knows, I can say, yes, I'm a two-time world bikini champion, but really nobody understands what goes on with it, and nobody has seen me go through the process. I just recently decided to, well, 6 months ago after my mom passed, to compete in Latin dancing. So have you ever done that?
No.
Oh yeah. So I competed. I ended up winning with my professional partner. It was really hard. It was a real brain body thing, moving my body in a different way, and you have to move as one, and you have to be responsible for this other person, and you have to like match the steps and so on. It was really, really so much fun. I got to meet a bunch of the people from Dancing with the Stars, like Karina Smirnoff. But I realized that also that what I like to do is I still like to go to the gym. I like
Yeah.
to go to the gym. I like to lift heavy. And I can't wait to get back on stage in a bikini and stripper heels, and I could give a shit what anybody says.
I love that. Oh, we've got to stay in touch. You've got to stay in touch with
I
us.
will. I will.
Now, I mean, that's so exciting. But see, there again, you have something to dream about. I tell these women, you've got to find
Yes.
something that you're passionate about, dream about something, write it down. I mean, just, I mean, that is what is so exciting, that you say, and I say it too. I think it means a lot when I say it at 82, I still have time left that I can do, whatever I want to do. Now, I have thought about, I was reading some of my emails to my daughter not long ago, and just like 3 years ago, before the pandemic, I mean, I have to be honest with you, I am not a real hardcore workout. I lost some time there, but I was bench pressing 70 pounds.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I know, and
That's amazing.
I know, Jodi, and I was just going through flipping some of my old emails, and I saw that. So I wrote her, I said, Michelle, can you believe that just 4 years ago I was bench pressing, because I was doing kettlebells. I love kettlebells.
Yeah. Yes, they're fun.
And I saw that I used to do the weights, and this one trainer of mine, she said to me, you have a perfect body. If you would have started bodybuilding, you have a perfect body build, because I've got really strong, stocky legs, and I've got good muscle tone.
How tall are you? About
I'm only 5'2".
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I read that, Jodi, and I was shocked. But I thought,
Wow.
okay, as I get older, I'm always trying to prove to women and to myself
Yes.
that age is not a factor, that I can do whatever I want to do at whatever age. So I've thought about really getting back into that weightlifting, because I love weightlifting. And I thought about, I think maybe I'll do that. Just see how far I can go and see what I can do.
You should do it. Just be careful. Obviously, have a trainer there with you if you haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that makes you feel stronger and has such a great effect on your body as long as you're doing it correctly and safely.
Right.
And that's what I really urge people to do. Because people don't do the right things all the time, but definitely get back to that.
I think so too. And I just, and you, so beautiful as you
You're so
age,
sweet.
Another 20 years, just take care of that beautiful skin, which I know you do, but there's so many good things out there. And
we didn't, right? We didn't for the longest time. There was no sunscreen. We used to go out there with the baby oil, and I have had third-degree burns on my face. I know. And it's funny because people compliment me on my skin now, and I'm like, I never thought I had nice skin. But since I was about 55, I stopped going in the sun. My husband's a pathologist, so he's like, Jodi, do you understand the damage that you are doing to your skin? It's breaking down the collagen. I'm like, oh, it's breaking down my collagen? Oh my God, okay, forget it. I won't go in the sun anymore.
I know, but I mean, there's such fabulous hats out there now.
Yes,
we can wear these fabulous hats, which I love. And we can do all kinds of things. But yeah, there's wonderful skincare coming up. And I listened last week, and I know we're talking a lot, but I'm still recording this. But last week I interviewed this guy that, have you heard of him? Living to 100. I have your email. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, he says that they are doing such strides, in all the testing and everything. And he did say that 30% of what you have is genetic, and they even think it's maybe less than 30. Because my dad was in such good health and so mentally alert, did not eat right, he didn't do anything right, and he was still very healthy. But he said, this guy said, that's very rare. That only happens.
Right. He was genetically blessed.
Yeah, genetic. But anyway, so 30% or less. The rest of it is lifestyle and attitude. And my dad had the best attitude.
That's what kept him going for so long. It was his attitude. He had a great attitude. And that smile, laughing and smiling and talking to people and being cognitively sharp, so important. It's just
Yeah.
It's
He took a B12 shot every month for like
mhm.
80 years.
Wow.
And I said, Daddy, why are you taking it? He said, I don't know. They just told me I need to do it. Well, I found out that there's some families genetically that their systems can't dissolve B12. So you have to
Oh,
take the shot. So, and I'm one of those too. So I'm taking a B12 shot every month.
that's really, really good. I've asked my doctor about it. He's like, I don't think you need it, but
Yeah, well, I really, really believe that's what kept my dad he was so mentally sharp. He was sharp as a
wow.
tack. And at 105, when I was with him, only 2 weeks before, he started having some little strokes, and he ended up in the nursing home. And he was laying there. He said, "Oh, Jane," he says, "I just didn't think this would happen to me." And I said, "Daddy," I said, "you're 105." And he said, "I
Oh,
know, but and I know he thought he was just going to keep living, because he was so healthy.
oh,
But
that's so
but Jody,
wonderful.
he never ate vegetables, he never ate fruit, he never drank water, he lived on a high fat, high sugar diet, but he never
Wow.
wore glasses. He never had cataract surgery. He never wore hearing aids, nothing. This man was,
They needed to study him.
well, they did. And I had a doctor tell me a long time ago that I should have taken his DNA, for my own grandchildren, which I should have, but I didn't.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
he was amazing. But just the good attitude. I got that good attitude from him, where my mother was just the opposite. She was depressed all the time and everything was bad. Daddy was, everything was good.
Right,
So,
right, right.
well, my darling friend, I just am so happy that I got to meet you, and we're both
Me
Capricorns.
too.
I
Me
love that.
too. I know. I know. I was so excited. There was
I
like a connection immediately.
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 Yeah, immediately. And we will stay in touch, and stay in touch with Aging But Dangerous, because the pandemic sort of, took us off balance a
Yeah,
little
of
bit,
course.
like it did everybody. But we'll stay connected, and I will certainly have all your information in my, and I want to look, you're still doing the podcast, right?
Right. So I still have my fitness studio, but I'm slowing down there a little bit, getting more, and I still have Fearlessly Authentic. And I love doing it. And hopefully one day you'll see me on TV.
Yeah.
That's where I want to get to
Now,
is
on TV with the with a
mm,
show, or
yeah, interviewing people.
perfect.
Interviewing. Yeah, because you
It
know what? I love meeting people and learning.
I do too. And that, I was just telling somebody the other day about that. They're still not keeping up with that, Jody, the older, generation. I mean, it's like they need, and my doctor keeps saying, you've got to keep talking about things. I talked about fecal incontinence the other day on one of the Martini Chats, and this woman wrote me, because my doctor said, you need to talk about that. Women have fecal continence and they think they're dying. They think they've got cancer. They thought, all this stuff. It can be it's an age thing. And this woman wrote me and she said, I'm so glad you told me that. My mother's not alive. I had no idea. So I'm old enough that I'm really trying to talk to women about things that happen to your body as you age, and things that you go through that a lot of young women don't realize, that happens. So I was just telling somebody the other day, it is so long overdue. Why don't they have a talk show for older women?
Well, this is why I tried out for Sports Illustrated and made global headlines at the age of 58, because nobody was representing women over 55 unless you were an actress or a model. And I said, and I made it to the top 60 out of 10,000 women, more than half my age, on the cover of the New York Post, on Good Morning America, because people need to understand that we aging women are the ones that need to be telling the younger generation what's going on. Nobody knows. I mean, you've got 30-year-olds talking about dating and life experiences. It's like, really?
I
You're
know.
30. You have no, I'm not saying they don't have a clue, but they don't know what's going on in life. Yeah, they're still learning. They're still babies.
Mhm.
So I had somebody on my show last week talking about pelvic floor dysfunction, and
Yep.
she brought up the whole fecal disorder. So I
Yeah.
didn't know that, but I wish that she was around after I had my daughters,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
know
It's a very real thing, and it doesn't happen till a lot later, I don't think, but it's very real, and it's very you know, it's disgusting and it's hard and it's demeaning and everything, but
Yeah.
it's something that you go through. And you know, okay, this is, and we'll leave, I want to leave it at this, but I just want to share with you what I have a very young doctor. She's 58. I keep telling her she's got to stay with me till the end. I mean, she's got to be there.
Oh,
But anyway, so she said, you need to talk about these things, but she said, I just want you to know that no matter how good you look, no matter how young you feel, no matter any of those things, you are still aging inside. You
right.
know, your lungs are getting older, your heart's getting older, you know, all this stuff. And we have to make sure. She said, if you're going to be the queen of aging,
Yep.
then
Yep.
we have to stay on top of everything.
So
So
true.
it is true. And I think as you get older, you kind of forget that. I mean, you're so far away from that. But as you get
No,
older, you do need to think about that things are aging.
things are aging, things are progressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
But
not,
we
we're
can
not built
slow it
like a 30.
down.
We
Yeah.
can slow it down. We can
Yeah.
slow it down, and a good
Yeah.
mindset and confidence and taking care of our bodies, even though your father ate
Yeah.
everything he wanted to eat.
Yeah.
It does help to slow down the aging process a little bit. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So, all right, my darling.
Okay.
Kisses.
Mwah. So
You
nice to meet you, Jean. And
you have
finish your
enriched
martini. I'm
you
gonna
have
finish.
enriched my life.
You have done the same to me, and let's stay in touch.
Okay, my little
All
Capricorn.
right.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.